Welcome to Kate and Kate Build Stuff. I'm Kate.
And I'm Kate.
Today we're going to build stuff. What are we going to build, Kate?
I want to build the smartest alarm clock in the world. You see, I think some of us have this problem, alarms upon alarms upon alarms upon alarms. We snooze this one, we get this one, we turn that one off. That one interrupts our first meeting, and we still don't show up on time because there is an unexpectedly early event on a Sunday for which there's no alarm. Does that happen to you, Kate?
Never. I always
Never.
wake up on time.
Of course not. Of course not. She's a liar. You guys think she's a liar? I think she's a liar. At any rate, but to build a smart alarm clock that knows what to turn on, what to turn off, whether or not you're actually up, integrates with your Google Calendar so that, or whatever calendar you're doing, so that you are up when there is a change to your routine. Fundamentally, the first thing we're going to need to do is build a phone app. Now, a lot of people think that you should build iPhone app first. And I think that is absolutely true if you're into pain. I'm not talking about the tool chain. I'm sure Apple has done a wonderful job. I'm talking about the App Store. The truth is, I want to build it on Android where I can easily download it, mess around with it, figure it out, get it approved in the App Store if needed, not have to jailbreak my phone or do something insane. And then when it's ready to go, think about whether or not I want to go through the pain of an Apple Store review. Does that sound reasonable?
That sounds perfectly reasonable. And don't you have an Android phone as your normal phone?
Of course, I have an Android phone as a normal phone. Apple and I have gotten divorced like a decade ago.
You say from your MacBook Pro?
As I say from my MacBook Pro, not my fault. This is a work computer, and I don't blame my MacBook Pro for having been made by Apple. But what actually happened is what caused me to switch to Android was the fact that the iPhone is so tightly, what do you call it? They give the apps their jail cells, and apps can't talk to each other. So I couldn't use Google Translate. I couldn't use my password manager. This has since been resolved. But at the time, it was annoying me that apps couldn't talk to each other. But what was annoying me even more is my phone battery was dying by the time I showed up at work. So conveniently, I was working in Santa Monica. So I walked into the Apple Store and I said, oh my God, what do I do? My Apple is, my battery is dying within, a couple of hours. That's really crazy. And the guy said, well, how long have you had it? And I said, just over a year. He said, well, maybe it's time for a new phone. I walked out of that store, and it's exactly what I did. I got a new phone, and I never looked back. At any rate, Kate, have you ever built a phone app?
Not one that natively installs. I've just made a progressive website sort of ones.
Yes, and that's a good start. Now, the truth is, I know nothing about building a mobile app. So if you're watching this and you know nothing about building a mobile app, this episode is for you. We're not really going to build the whole app today. We're just probably going to figure out how to do it.
Sounds like fun. I'm excited to see it.
Okay. So you see, in the days of AI, there is no such thing as I don't know how to do this. That excuse has gone by the way of the dog ate my homework. So let us open Cursor. Now, my Cursor is my thing. I love it. It is a fork of VS Code. You have your normal VS Code, like if you've ever used it, you can open a file on one side, but you have an agent on the other. So this is your ChatGPT/Claude. I'm no longer a ChatGPT person. Honestly, it's just not very good anymore. ChatGPT was my first AI love. He broke my heart. Then he kind of got a little better. Then he broke my heart again. Got really, really volatile. And eventually, Claude and I kind of got together. So, hi, Claude. Let's make Claude big enough so everybody can see this. I'd like to build a mobile app on an Android. I have a Google Pixel myself, and I don't know very much about how to do this. What I do know is I want it to integrate with my calendar, an alarm, or it will be an alarm application. And, well, I want to build it. That's what I want to know. Okay, so Claude apparently has a few things to say. He says I'm in a good place to start, Kate. A Pixel plus Android Studio is exactly what you need. We'll combine 3 Android ideas: calendar data, scheduling wake-ups, will be aware of exact alarm and battery restrictions. I didn't even think of that. I mentioned the battery. This is good that Claude knows this, because I kind of don't. I mean, I sort of do. I'm gonna know once I start using it.
In theory.
I know in theory.
Apps use power.
Apps use power. So you think about that until you start using apps. Have you ever noticed that? User experience, notifications, optional full screen activities, ringing UI. This all sounds great. Now we have recommended path. We're going to use native Android, Kotlin plus Jetpack Compose. If these words intimidate you, don't worry, they intimidate me too. We're going to be intimidated together. We're going to install Android Studio, create a project, turn on developer options and USB debugging on Pixel, plug in and run, so you see the app on your phone immediately. This is a pretty good setup.
That'll be really neat.
Okay, we'll need to request runtime permissions for first things early, but what I really need is, okay, a sane first milestone. Milestone A, app lists today's events from one calendar. Milestone B, user picks an event. Alarm actually rings, polish. Okay, this is what I want to know. What can Claude do for me? Okay, so Claude has 2 modes, or actually multiple modes, but I pretty much always run it in the agent mode. And we talk until he's ready to build, but he's being cautious and he's telling me, well, you should really be in the plan mode. Now he wants me to tell him my comfort level with programming so that explanation depth matches me. Now, I am a programmer. I could do what he says, but that makes it for a much less interesting video. So I'm going to tell him, I will know what you are talking about, but my little brother is watching. I want this to look fun for him. What do you think? So let's just focus on UI, and I will leave most technical decisions to you. If you are really, really unsure, go ahead and ask. Also, tell me what kind of things you are doing, so it is a learning experience. I just lied to Claude.
And how does that make you feel?
You know, kind of unclean a little bit, really, when you have a lying problem with your AI. Okay, so you see, first thing Claude did is he's telling us, don't tell Claude. Will you not tell Claude I lied?
You got it.
Don't want to start this relationship on this kind of, note. Okay, what we're choosing for you, native Android in Kotlin, Jetpack Compose. Oh, it's modern UI code that describes screens as what to show, not manual button placement. Okay, that's interesting. I haven't actually seen that myself. Material 3, that's a theme template. UI before wiring, use a sample fake calendar events. That's a really good idea. Oh, look, we're going to create a kid-friendly mission control idea for my little brother. And do you see how lying is a slippery slope?
Yeah.
Children, if you're watching this, do not lie to your AI. Okay, what will build? App theming. Okay, home screen. Lazy list of event cards. Why are they lazy? Caitlin, do you know why they're lazy?
Probably lazy loading.
Probably lazy loading. All right. Anyway, he'll build some stuff. Oh, I'm gonna need what you'll do in Android Studio. And now, okay, this is the important part. How we're gonna, there we go again. My little brother, he'll be my little brother. Whenever we implement a slice, we'll name 3 things out loud. A recipe that draws one piece of the picture, that's a composable, the state, the theme, and the preview. Okay, risks. Well, that doesn't look like risks. Real alarms on newer Android system need careful permission and battery policy handling. It doesn't sound like my phone's going to blow up. Does that look like a risk to you?
My great-grandmother would, of course, tell you your phone is going to explode if you press the wrong button. Her BCR always did.
Yes, that is what the world used to be like. Buttons exploded things. What if it were true today? What would we actually do? Okay. And I'm going to switch us into the agent, and I'm going to say, So what do you want me to do? Everything looks good. We'll see what we built and we'll change it after. So there are a couple of approaches that we take on development by hand and on development with AI. And what's interesting about Kate and Kate Build Stuff is that I'm Kate and I build stuff by making things happen and then changing them after the fact.
And I'm Kate, and I do the same thing.
You do not. You write long plans and show them on screen. And now I know you're a liar because we have last week's episode on record.
I gotta admit, a thing I did last night, I was playing with Claude, and I told him to make me a prompt that kind of captures a lot of the design decisions I already made, and like how sprites work and the services thing and how to get Postgres running correctly. So now next time I build a web app on a sprite, I have like a 3-page prompt where I like fill in what application details I want.
She made a 3-page project prompt. I'm just saying. I'm saying some people like to be in control. This is fun. You see, this is what programmers used to do. This fast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I see something that's the ring. Oh, we didn't talk about supporting ringtones. This is why I don't plan ahead, because I think of all kinds of shit as we go through it. UI detail, UI home. So now I bet I could open, I could look at all of these files right here in Cursor. I'm gonna close that plan. So everything we have is right alongside our development session with Claude. Okay, here's what's ready and what I should do next. You created an Android app folder. Mission Control UI. Fake data. This is Claude's favorite thing to do, is to create fake data, because you know why? He gets to hallucinate. And now I'm doing on my Mac and Pixel, I'm going to install/open Android Studio. We're going to have Cursor open an external website. Ugh. Okay, so let us put in a browser where we can see it. There's Android Studio. Well, why can't Claude just do it by himself? Well, it doesn't look hard. I bet there's a programmatic way of installing the studio, but fine. Terms and conditions, sign away my life. I think I have a Mac with an Intel chip.
You still have, you never got a computer in the last like 4 or 5 years?
I have like an
You have an Apple chip.
I do have an Apple chip. You are so right. Okay, let's just do it again. Also, I got a badge. Okay, I have a Mac with Apple chip. Don't mind me. Okay, So let's just dismiss. I don't need a badge profile. I have too many badges in my life. Okay, so I assume I need to open my Finder and run the thing. Let's get rid of this. And this is still going? Yes, it's still going. So that's the one with the Mac chip. Wow, it's big. Okay, so what else does Claude want? Let it sync Grady, plug in my Pixel, and enable USB debugging. This is fascinating. I will be able to see things right in my Pixel, which, but
then I won't be able to see them.
Right. Will I be able to join a Google Meet on my Pixel, share screen, so my little brother who is in Africa could see it? See, this is what happens. You can usually do that as long as you're using a current Google Meet app. Okay, so we'll test it out while other things are happening. And in the meantime, we have got our Android Studio. And we are back. We now have Android Studio in my apps folder, and we're ready to launch it. Send usage statistics. We're gonna not send, not this time, but if I develop on this a lot, then I would want to do it. But this is a work computer, so choose the type of setup you want, standard or custom. Okay, let's go with standard. We don't want to think too hard. We're going to take up 368 megs plus some, quite a bit, about a half a gig. Oh, 652 megs. So we need some serious real estate for this.
Discs have gotten much bigger now.
Discs did get a lot bigger, I have to admit. What did we start with? Like I seem to think like what's not megs, what 64 megs was what they
maybe. I think my first computers were like 2 gig discs, and like 8 gig discs was like the big ones. But I started much later.
Yeah, I started when computers were in diapers and we had to change them. That's what modems were for.
You learned to program by punching holes in paper?
You know, it's funny. I actually grew up playing with punch cards as a child because my dad was working in the Soviet Union in a research facility, and he did some programming, and he brought home punch cards that were no longer useful for me to play with. This is what happened. And we are finished. Welcome to Android Studio. Okay, so I have the Android Studio installed. Are you able to talk to it programmatically? I don't want to have to click things. And that's one thing. Okay. I'm not actually just being lazy. Seriously, when AI wants you to copy and paste things into applications, that doesn't scale. It's going to make lots of mistakes. It's going to have to rewrite code. And if I'm in the middle of that, it kind of sucks. So it sometimes takes a little bit of encouragement to get it to do things programmatically. Okay, so there's some stuff he can do. There's some stuff he can't. Okay, tell me what I need to do next. Create a project in Android Studio. And the thing that's so fun about this is that, I truly don't know even what stack I'm using. Like as in, what's this Android Studio for? So my past experience as a software developer is just completely irrelevant here. Anybody can do this. Oh, and if you're watching from home and you see three Kates on the screen, that is my phone ready to share our debugging session when that comes up. So we'll see what happens there. Open an existing app. Choose a folder. See, now he's making, and we are back. Okay, no need to create a new Android project. Mission Alarm is already an Android project. All I need to do is open it. So we go open. And where did he put, oh yes, it's going to be somewhere under my Kate and Kate project, which is where? Apparently I already had one. Okay, that is the project we're opening. Trust project. Oh my God, look at this. That looks like another fork of VS Code.
It's VS Code.
Yes. But apparently it has other tools that are relevant to Android development. Okay, so the same exact project hierarchy we have here, we had in our cursor. Let's get rid of this. Okay, now, wait until Gradle sync finishes. Where is the Gradle sync? It is not happening. There is no Gradle sync. So Claude isn't just writing code. He is helping a very lost and confused user figure out what to do. And he's planning next moves. Let's make sure the file he was talking about.
Hey, look.
Where?
Sync is taken. Oh, you lost it.
So it was there.
It looked like it was saying like sync is taking a long time, and then I didn't catch the rest of that.
Importing Mission Alarm Gradle project.
Maybe Claude's fixing it.
Okay. Agent mode now available. Look at that. So it looks like I could switch from cursor to this thing. Now I can probably, okay, this is Gemini. Now, Kate, between you and I literally have never gotten one useful reply out of Gemini. I've tried to get it.
They use remote model. I wonder if that supports Claude or Cursor.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do that.
Oh, it looks like you need API keys instead of just a Claude account, though.
True. Probably that makes sense. Yes, API key. But I now have a Claude API key account because I wanted it for something else. This is how. This is why we are in an AI bubble, because every tool wants you to sign up for something new. But that's okay. We'll switch between the two for now. Our Gradle thing is happening. You can't quite see it here, but I swear it is here. So I'll just say importing mission alarm Gradle project. I should tell Claude to calm down. I found it. It's running. Okay, so while this is running, I want you to create UI design using text. It's actually called ASCII art. It's kind of cool, but my little brother won't know what I'm talking about. So Claude is so good at creating these pretty text charts. So I really, really like asking Claude to do this. Except he didn't do, I meant, that's for my little brother. Yeah, now he's doing the right thing. So let's look. So where is the design document? Where did he put it?
Design.md, maybe?
Mission alarm / there he is, design.md. That is right. Good eye. Okay. Let us there, give ourselves some space and look. Mission board. Tap a launch window to arm an alarm. So these are presumably my fake data calendar invites. Moms and dads, pizza is bad for kids. Just saying. Don't do this at home. Okay, then we go into the launch window, school pickup, we turn on the alarm, preview, back to mission board, nice, ringing, big alert. So this is going to be a simple turn on alarm based on calendar invite thing. And he also wrote a whole bunch of stuff. Now, what I'm looking at is a little ugly. Markdown is not for the faint of heart, but see if I can remember the command. No, I don't. So
Markdown is beautiful.
Markdown is beautiful. Yeah, it really is. It's like, you know, in the Matrix, blonde, brunette, redhead. You don't even see the Matrix anymore. Yeah, that's Markdown. What is the cursor command to view Markdown like in its pretty form? Command Shift V. Oh, look at that. So if something doesn't look right, little brother, and you want to know how to make it look better, you just ask Claude. And now Markdown just became beautiful. Okay, so now if this were important to me, I would now mess around with what I really want to do and what kind of UI I really want to build. Now, the truth is, I want to add default alarms like morning alarms versus meeting alarms, and a whole workflow. But right now, let's just create a very, very simple calendar plus alarm kind of system that is the base for our iterations. So let's see what happened here. Kotlin is available, new version, project update recommended, migrate to Gradle daemon toolchain. Okay, so now I could easily just dismiss all of the, one of them just dismissed by itself. That's not nice. But this is what I do when the shit shows up and I don't know what to do with it. I just go to Claude and I say, I saw this. Is it safe to ignore? And this is really, really helpful. Now I kind of know what's going to happen, what I can and cannot do. Yes, both are safe to ignore for now. And for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to explain. I'm not going to read further. So I assume the Gradle thing is done. I'm going to fire Gemini and tell him he is just not my type. It's not me. It's you, Gemini. We have our Gradle scripts. I think our Gradle thing is done. And I'm going to maximize this window to give Claude my undivided attention. Plug in my pixel, which I did. Pick it in the device dropdown, hit run, and poke through mission board. Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
I believe.
All right, so first let's get my screen shared. Share screen. Can you, oh, yep, my Android is up. Did that stop sharing my computer screen?
No.
No, we now have both screens. That is so cool. All right, so with that, I pick device. It says no devices and paired devices using Wi-Fi. Well, let's try this. So the USB thing didn't seem to work out, at least for now. Pair devices over Wi-Fi. I like it better anyway. So we're going to do the QR code thing. Contains incorrect Wi-Fi password. What if I did this? Okay, nothing is working, which is kind of, to be expected. So we're going to troubleshoot one thing at a time since nothing worked directly. I love this. I love this because it is real. It is real life. It is not a fake demo. So, let's plug my phone back in over USB. Did I get any kind of notification that says I need permission for USB devices or anything? No, nothing here. Okay, well, let Claude figure this out. Android Studio says no devices. Can you please help me troubleshoot? Now, there are different schools of thought on politeness with Claude, but see, I believe that politeness is something we do for ourselves. Oh,
I've seen how you talk to Claude.
okay, but sometimes I get mad.
Hmm?
Sometimes I get mad. Work through this in the order. On the Pixel, turn on developer USB debugging. Okay. Oh, and you can now see what I'm doing on my screen, aren't you? Don't you?
Yep.
That is exciting. I should make sure I keep my fingers off my dirty pictures. And we are turn on developer USB debugging. Settings, about phone. Computer. Oh, and the reason wireless didn't work is because turns out there's a wireless debugging option as well. And if you see default USB configuration, set it to file transfer / Android Auto. If I see default USB configuration, Jesus, there's like default USB configuration. Still hidden from screen. And it says what? Set it to file transfer / Android Auto. Well, let's see if we can do. Oh, look at that. Google Pixel 8. It's right here. And let's assume that the default USB option thing is not really important because it's scrolling, it's scrolling, it's scrolling. Well, I guess I can take the time. We can cut this. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. Okay. So now we can follow what Claude says and hit run. This is the moment of magic when nothing happens.
I was like, I'm not seeing anything on the phone.
Okay, let's find out from Claude. Okay, so let's first of all tell him what I wasn't able to figure out. Just in case.
I followed some of your instructions. I ignored the others. Why isn't it working?
Okay. Check this one more time, and it's spinning. Oh yeah, we should tell it. But we now see the phone in the list of devices. I hit run, it's spinning, and nothing is happening. Okay, run is spinning. What usually causes it? First run is often a long build. The first run compiles the app, packages the APK, and installs it. That can be several minutes, downloads, indexing. The spinner can look stuck even when it's working. What to do? In Android Studio, open View. Oh my God, Kate! She left. Would you believe it? She left. We have school pickup. We have arm alarm. Preview launch alarm. This is what it's going to look like. Mission complete. This is the cutest thing I have ever seen. I cannot believe you were not here for my launch, girl. That's all I'm saying. And with that, next time, we are going to turn it into a real application. But what we did today is we fought the monster. We figured out how to make everything work. We connected the phone. We ran. We poisoned children with pizza.
That's looking pretty good.
I am so excited. I cannot tell you. This is not a working application yet, but we're in business. And with that, I'm Kate.
And I'm also Kate. And we build things.
And we build things. We'll see you next week.